YouTube as a marketing channel can be used in a number of ways, in particular to extend the reach of your existing campaigns and to bring video content to your customers that may not be easily provided through other channels. Remember, one of the things that YouTube does for you, it gives you a platform to show your own video. Videos showing technical details, a lot of ways of using YouTube to actually reduce cost in the delivery of customer care, or showing people what to do, how to use your products, how to use products and services safely. For example, maybe a safety video, something like that. There are lots of ways of using YouTube over and above pure outreach marketing that nonetheless, because this is a social context, result, sort of a marketing kicker, if you will, from the fact that people like things, they share things, they pass things around. All of that complements and drives your marketing program. And then finally, YouTube can be effective in its own right as an advertising channel. A number of DVRs and set-top boxes, for example, now have internet connectivity. That means people are using YouTube in the same way that they've used TV in the past. This is important to recognize because when people are consuming YouTube content in this way, the advertising that shows alongside of that can actually be quite significant in terms of its reach and similar advertising performance. Let's look at how YouTube can be used to enhance engagement in particular. Video content, first off, adds depth to presentations. Here's a nice example of Craft and its cooking challenge video, in which just lots of interesting content, real people, professional chefs, all kinds of people, just showing what they love to cook, what they make. And Craft has used this in its own way in its cooking video challenge series. The contests, courses, customer projects, all of this stuff makes great content. People like watching people do things. All of the reality and the how-to and all those shows on TV, they all were in part driven by what goes on the web. I mean, a lot of the insights from those shows came from the way that people use both web and and now what we call social content. But this idea of people watching what other people are doing and learning from that, or sharing, or being the stars in their own shows and those kinds of things, very, very compelling content and can be used in a number of ways. Video as an alternative to traditional customer care and phone support. Lots of examples here of how to do things. If you just go to YouTube and start searching for, in particular, technical products and services that you may have in your own home, financial services, travel, those kinds of things, you'll find lots of examples where people are using YouTube both to post and obviously consume information about how to do things, and then how brands are starting to participate in this. It's important to recognize that when people do what we call self-help, in other words, they go to a support forum or to YouTube or a channel like that and kind of use this to figure the answer out on their own, this can be a significant cost saver, which of course leads to actual ROI for social media. So if you're considering using social media, YouTube channels like this, Twitter and Facebook, as a way to offload or complement some of your customer support, be sure to start documenting the costs, the current costs. For example, what does a typical phone call cost you to actually take, or a typical email cost you to actually respond to when a customer has a question? How much can you save? What is the equivalent cost when that same interaction takes place in a social channel like YouTube? And then ultimately, don't forget the basics. YouTube is an advertising channel. When people are searching for games, you have lots of opportunity to reach people who are searching for games. If they're searching for automobiles or other kinds of products, you can actually use that information to create and steer a formal YouTube campaign. Advertise selectively or by the YouTube demographic, it doesn't matter. Obviously ad targeting is important here as it is for you and your product and service, or your marketing campaign on any other channel. The point is, it's available here. You can use this, and it's a great channel. As a channel, YouTube, it's important to remember, YouTube is now available as a ready input for most new DVRs, most set-top boxes, internet TV, Google TV, all these sorts of things are coming out that make extensive use of YouTube as a channel. Think about this when you're planning both your traditional campaign and then the outreach or the presence points for your social media marketing program. The advertising that you would do in YouTube in this fashion, for example, this clearly is not social advertising, but on the other hand, it's important to recognize that in a social context like YouTube, by advertising where people are and understanding what they're looking for, this gives you a nice way to actually present advertising that would otherwise not have been seen by these people. So in summary, YouTube can be used to extend the reach of your existing campaign, bring video content to your customers. Two important and relatively different examples here. Number one, we're taking advantage of the size of the YouTube community. And then number two, we're using that to actually publish our own video content to bring points of interest, how to do things, where to go, what to do, how to use our products and services, that kind of thing across to our customers. Video showing technical details, part of your customer care program. There's a definite cost savings element here. Very often, showing someone how to do something is the easiest way to actually get the point across about how these two components actually fit together, for example. If someone can see it, it's often a lot easier to then do it correctly. And then finally, this idea you can safely advertise on YouTube. The bottom line is we're past that stuff now. That's not to say that you just, with reckless abandon, just go out and just put any video you want out on YouTube. The YouTube demographic is what it is. You can dig in and understand that. And within that demographic, there are a whole lot of advertising opportunities that you can be appropriately taking advantage of.